Alrighty, guys, we are watching episode 1 of Madoka Magica, which I've always just heard referred to as Madoka Magica, so it's probably what I'll call it. Probably not that full title every time. Anyway, we're getting started on this. People wanted me to watch it, a few people mentioned it. So what do I know about it? It's impossible to have been in the anime sphere generally for any amount of time without hearing about Madoka Magica at least a little bit, right? So I have heard about this show referenced many, many times. Um, I don't really think. So what do I know? I know it's a magical girl show, as you know, Madoka Magica. That kind of gives it away. I know in some. I know that in some general sense, it's either like a deconstruction of the girl genre. I know that in some way it's not exactly what it may seem. I suppose. I don't. I have no idea in what form that will take. I just know, you know, Madoka Magica is very popular. I've seen it mentioned online probably hundreds of times. So I've gotten the general sense that it's is in some way not just a normal magical girl show, which I guess is probably kind of obvious. Um, I guess that's really it. I don't really know in what way it's different or anything. I know it's made by Shaft, which is very interesting because we're watching Monogatari on the channel as well right now, and that's made by Shaft. Looks like it was made in 2011. Makes sense. It's pretty old. Yeah. So I guess that's about it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't know anything, other than the general sense of being spoiled. I guess that it's not just a normal magical girl show, which I don't know. I guess that's a spoiler. Who knows? I don't think there's anything else to get out of the way. So yeah, let's get started. We are watching episode 1 of Madoka Magica. We will be starting in 3, 2, 1. Oh, it already is. Yeah, this is Shaft. I can already tell. I swear they used that exact same sound in Bakemonogatari, didn't they? Ooh. Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah, I can tell. It's Shaft, obviously, right? Just the already some like shots like that is obviously, that's Shaft. Okay. You're on a giant tree. Is this a little bit loud? That's fine. What is going on? What? Wait, what? Okay, I don't know. I was trying to. I thought. I don't know. I don't know where we are. I have no idea. All right. Hmm. Oh, love the way the eyes look. Yeah, true. Seems like the ability to change fate. Sounds good to me. Seems like kind of a typical magical girl type theme to be exploring. Just general empowerment, I suppose. Hmm. Change this ending. All right. I don't know about that framing. Make a contract with me. That makes me, you know. Oh, okay. Was it just a dream? It's a very cute stuffed animal. Somehow I doubt it was just a dream. Oh, opening. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, so far. Here, let me. I'm gonna actually watch and listen to the opening the first time. Pretty good. Very good animation. I mean, it's Shaft. I think I've heard this before. Probably. At least I feel like I recognize that part. The chorus here. Oh, that looks like so many things I feel like I recognize from Monogatari. Just in the colors even of that shot at sunset. Name's Madoka. Makes sense. Tatsuyu. Tatsuya? Tatsuya. Ah, little brother. She is really asleep, huh? Oh, okay. Is waking her up quite the ordeal? Tommy. New record. Seems like she has a very good relationship with her mom. She looks like such a refined businesswoman now when it was that hard to wake her up? Kind of unfair, isn't it? Oh, don't say that. Maybe you do. Interesting. Being pretty. That fork doesn't seem sharp enough. So what, is he a stay-at-home dad and she's you know, the breadwinner? Again, seems fitting. Oh, I'm guessing Tatsuya, that was his name, right? Guessing he's still too young for school. Oh, I already love the music. These those two friends she was talking about? That's mean. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. True. Where do I know this? Where do I know this voice actor from? Voice actress. Say you. Sure. What, is she blushing? See her face got like red there? Maybe that's why she keeps rejecting all the guys. Quite the school. Oh, that was such a shaft thing to do. Come on. Oh, I guess. I agree. Hmm. I think I saw this is the girl. Yeah, from the start, right? I'm wondering if that whole dream, it was framed as a dream. Mm-hmm. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I was gonna say I wonder if we'll talk about it. Alchemy. Oh, she doesn't know the the kanji for her name. Someone can tell me. I'm sure the kanji has some specific meaning here. Oh, I love the way they do the eyes. Interesting. I wonder if she remembers as well. If they had like a shared dream or something, you know? Is this Sindra Gahara's voice actress or am I crazy? Yeah. Hmm. That's totally Sindra Gahara's Seiyu. Man, this is a ask the person in charge. Her? Okay. Is she? Is that serious of a position? Okay. Yeah, they're just trying to. She must remember. She must remember, right? And she wants to talk about it. I'm guessing. Hmm. That also, I'm gonna have to talk about some stuff. Just wild speculation, but I have an idea about something. Mm-hmm. It sure is. It sure is. Because in that dream, it was being framed as an ending that she was like resetting or something to avoid. Oh, that was a face. Omoda. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Interesting. That kind of fits in. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. That is quite fitting with the themes from earlier about her wanting to be prettier, worried about the ribbons, wanting a love letter, all that, you know? All right. Man. I swear that this is like, all right. Great. It's almost like she is the person who Madoka is going to want to become, you know? Everyone thinks she's so pretty, she's so good at everything. Oh, there's our little buddy. So, I don't know. I'll talk about it in the discussion. I really want to talk about stuff already, but maybe the episode will answer me. So, what's the point yet? You think? So, she hasn't told him about the dream. Because I guess how would you say, okay, maybe she will, but how do you even broach the subject, you know? Mm hmm. Yeah, they just aren't going to believe it, right? I don't think it's a previous life, but hmm, maybe you could frame it that way. Okay, sure. I don't think that's the real explanation, but oh. Hmm. Madoka has a lot of people to envy, perhaps, doesn't she? Okay. Ooh. So, your little buddy. I'm gonna keep calling him that so we know a name. What is going on? Okay. Where are we? Is that Akami? Oh, so shaft. Like, it's just like I'm watching Bakemonogatari again. A little bit less abstracted. Ooh. Hmm. The contract she made, huh? Hmm. Yeah, they're linked in some way, right? Obviously, the dream was not just a dream at this point, you know. I'm really feeling like she's getting into stuff that she does not understand the consequences of it all. Because, oh wow. Hmm. Yep. Yeah, that's I don't know. I don't know. I just the word contract really, like a contract with the devil. That's really what it makes me think. So, I'm feel like I'm kind of on Hamura's side here in a way. We don't really have any reason to think this thing is trustworthy. Oh, okay. What? Sayaka. I don't think they've said her name before, but okay. All right. Yeah. Okay, sure. Yeah. All right. Hmm. Hmm. What is going on? Yeah, please. What's hello? What's happening? It's like we've taken the bizarre shaft visuals that they like to do, but it's actually part of the universe. Like, what is going on? Okay. Yeah. Why not? What? Huh? Hmm. It's like they're unchaining something. Okay. Cube. Uh, I hmm. I don't know. I don't know. I have some thoughts, that's for sure. I'm just really thinking, I guess. Sure. Go ahead. Let's see our first magical girl transformation. The way that Madoka said that she was hearing QB's voice in her head, and she just said, I see, makes me assume that she has also formed a contract with him, probably, to receive this power, right? Okay. What are we doing? All right. Cool. Awesome. But what caused that? It obviously wasn't Homura who caused it, right? Because she was also being affected by it. The witch. Hmm. Very tense. Hmm. See how she's on the high ground, the light shining on her. Is interesting because we don't really have a reason to take one side or the other. That's I swear to God, that sound. This sound effect was used somewhere in Monogatari. I'm telling you. I don't like how he doesn't speak. How it's like in his mouth doesn't move. I think that is no, never mind. Hmm. Okay, so I guess the contract she agreed to make in her dream didn't actually happen then? I don't know. I don't know. I let's watch the ending. I'm not saying that didn't happen. I'm just saying like I assumed she had already made the contract because she agreed to it in her dream. Maybe she didn't agree to it in her dream. Maybe I'm just assuming that she did. Maybe it was unanswered and I'm just misremembering. It's a very simplistic ending, which makes me think it's going to change at some point. I don't think I've heard this anywhere before. At the end, is there anything after? This might be a preview. Yeah, I think it's preview. I think I should watch that. If you guys, I don't know, maybe I'll watch it if you guys tell me I can. Anyway, that was good. We'll talk about it in the discussion. Alrighty, I took all my notes. So let's go through the episode. That was good. I said it a million times during the reaction, but yeah, it is clearly Shaft, right? I swear. There is sound effects and stuff that were in Bakemonogatari that they used here as well. It's just obviously, yeah, the shots of the legs as people are running, stuff like that, Shaft loves to do that, don't they? So yeah, we have our main character Madoka, Kaname Madoka, which, yeah, sure, Madoka Magica makes sense. She has this dream at the start, which, man, I don't really know what to make of it, honestly. Um, I will go into my maybe, I mean, wild speculatory theories in a minute here, along with I mean, just wild ideas I have about what could maybe be going on here between her and Akami. But, I don't know. It's awful whatever is happening. I don't even understand what is going on exactly. Um who knows? Who knows? It is interesting though, like Cube says the only way you can avoid this, you have the ability to change fate. Um you have to form a contract with me, which I said several times. For one, like I don't know now. Yeah, I mean, major disclaimer here. Again, I've been spoiled vaguely in the sense that I know this is not a normal magical girl show, and in some way there's like a catch to it, something like that, right? Just kind of been impossible to not have known that, having been present in the general anime sphere for a long time, right? Um, Not that I know the details at all, but like I don't know how much of me thinking this, of me being suspicious of Cube, is due to that. I feel like I'd be suspicious of him either way, just because of his wording. He says, make a contract with me to become a magical girl. And, what does that make you think? A contract? Well, that's, makes me think of like a contract with the devil, right? That's normally, and even just the implication behind him calling it a contract is, it's a contract. It assumes it's binding. Perhaps he gets something in return, and the fact that he's offering to make her a magical girl, considering some of the themes that are present in this episode already, that alone is already an interesting premise for her to become a magical girl. And so, just one more thing I'm going to mention about this dream here is, they call it an ending, right? They say you can avoid this horrible ending. Uh, which to me, like, I guess to start going into my wild speculation, it makes me think, this is the ending that makes me think this is some point in the future that Madoka wants to avoid, right? Because it's awful. I mean, sure, right? So Madoka wants to avoid this. We wake up in the bed, right, after having had this dream. She goes to school, she sees Akemi, she remembers having this dream. Um, it makes me think, like, is this like a time loop situation almost, right? Did we is this a point that in time later, right? It's called an ending. So is this a point in time later down the line that we're going towards, that we're reaching? And uh her having this dream and making this contract with him is like resetting it, She's agreeing to go back to change fate. Because and the only reason I'm saying that is because it's obvious that Akemi knows Madoka, right? She knows her already, and it seems like she knows everything about everything, right? She was writing down all the problems and everything perfectly. She already knew that Madoka was the health officer. She already knew the way to get to the nurse's office, all of that, right? So if it's not some kind of weird, like, time loop type situation where we've been told Madoka has the ability to change fate, what if this is her, all of this happening, this dream is her, like, resetting to some prior point to change fate? And then one last thing I want to mention about this scene is it is interesting how it seems like Akemi and Kyubey are kind of, she was trying to kill him. I'm assuming it's a him. I guess I don't know. But she was trying to kill him, and this ending that we're supposedly trying to avoid, that he tells Madoka, that Madoka wants to avoid, and that he tells her he can grant her the ability to do that. Well, it's the reason Madoka says this ending is horrible is because Akemi is getting killed pretty much, right? So if Kyubey and Akemi are on opposing sides, it is interesting that Kyubey is giving Madoka the chance to change this ending, right? You see what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm just very suspicious of that, of our little buddy Kyubey. All right, so this is where some of the themes start really kicking in here, which is very fitting for a magical girl show, right? Like, the whole magical girl genre, to me, not that I've ever really watched any magical girl anime, I don't think, and nothing really fully within the realm of the genre, at least. But to me, just the idea of empowerment, generally like female empowerment, right? That's why it's called magical girl. That's kind of the general idea of a encompassing theme that's kind of defining of the genre, right? And Madoka has all of these female characters in her life. Her mom, Hitomi, even her teacher, who I think her teacher is Kazuko, because they talk about it here, for having a relationship, and then they say the relationship didn't work out later. So they don't actually say her name, I think, but I think her teacher's Kazuko. She has all these female characters in her life that are in relationships, that are succeeding, right? Her mother is kind of this perfect businesswoman in a way. She seems to be the breadwinner of the household. It's very, it's, yeah, female empowerment type stuff, right? And Madoka doesn't think she is like that at all, right? She's kind of jealous of these characters, of Hitomi for getting all these love letters, right? Um, she is she's unsure about her appearance. There's these ribbons. She doesn't know which one to pick. She's worried it's going to be too flashy. She thinks that there's no way she has any secret admirers. Her mom says here, yeah, her mom says something about that here. Yeah, your secret admirers be struck on you like glue, and she immediately says, oh, I don't have any, right? So I think it's pretty clear. Madoka is like unsure of herself, of her femininity in a way, right? It's like she is kind of envious, I think, of all of the people around her, which I think is important. Maybe not envious. Envy to me kind of makes it sound like that's kind of like an angry emotion. So I don't think I would call it that really. But she has a lot of people in her life that I think she looks up to and aspires to become like them, right? Let's say it like that. That's less negative than envy. Um, which by itself isn't bad. That's not really a bad thing. Akemi brings up an interesting point about it in a little bit. What's the secret of being pretty? You need to act like you do. Hmm. Anyway, yeah, so her mom seems to be the breadwinner of the household, so yeah, she has some strong female figures in her life to look up for, that's for sure. Or to look up to. So your friends Hitomi and Sayaka. Sayaka? I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But I love the way they're drawn here. It's very nice. It's very cute. um but yeah, it's her, I wish I could get a love letter too. She's a little bit jealous of Hitomi maybe, or at least just wants to become a beautiful princess like Hitomi, stuff like that, right? Um and again, I don't think her behavior, her thinking like this is exactly a negative thing. I don't think it's bad to have people you look up to and wish you were like them. I don't think that necessarily has to be opposed to the idea of like self-acceptance. But I don't know. I don't really know if that's what it will be going for yet or not. Um, we'll talk about that in a second when we get to the line that Akami says. Um, it's some very, I don't know. I don't know what this was all about. I don't know what this was all about. Anyway, yeah, and I mean, this is even more, right? Just her teacher having this problem with this relationship about how they shouldn't let it's just more, yeah, it's just very strong, obvious, female empowerment type stuff, right? Makes sense for that. Yeah, seems completely fitting to me in a magical girl show. It normally magical girl shows, uh or stories in general, it doesn't have to be an anime, but just magical girl stories in general, I don't think would normally be this like obvious and blatant with the messaging, right? Um, which makes sense because again, I know this is not just not just another magical girl show. Anyway, Akami shows up. Someone got to tell me what this kanji stuff means. Because I don't know. The teacher's writing her name. She doesn't know the kanji to use to write Hamura, and she finishes it. Someone tell me what that means. It has to mean something. I'm sure it means something. Hmm. And yeah, and she remembers the dream as well. What's interesting here, if we going back to my theory, I'm sorry we're really jumping around between the thematic analysis and the plot stuff, but going back to my idea that this is like a time loop situation almost, that Madoka's apparent ability to change fate is related to that. It's interesting that Madoka herself experienced it as a dream. She experienced the ending, and she doesn't know anything that leads up to it. While viewing it through this lens, it's like this would be the explanation for why Akami knows everything, right? She already knows who Madoka is. She already knows she's the health officer. She knew the way to the nurse's office, all of that. So it's interesting that Akami here remembers and Madoka doesn't. Assuming they've experienced this multiple times, and that's the explanation for why Akami knows this stuff. But yeah, so Akami shows up. She's immediately the enviable, like perfect, ideal girl, right? Like, if Madoka already had people in her life to look up to that kind of met this ideal of like feminine empowerment, right? Like her mother, especially, right? Or just Hitomi, just being, stuff like that, right? Elements of other people that she's envious of in a way. Again, I don't really like saying envious, but I feel like that has to be part of it, right? Um, and Akami here, Homura, is the perfect ideal, right? Everyone immediately says she's so beautiful, that she just does everything perfect and awesome. And for one, it seems like she really doesn't like Madoka. We keep getting these shots of her, yeah, of her looking like that, right? Which, if we want to go on wild speculation again, it's makes me think like, um, imagining we're in this weird time loop scenario. I know, I mean, just I could be so completely wrong about everything that everything I'm saying could just be insane. So I don't know, but Akami obviously knows Madoka more than Madoka knows Akami, right? Like, she obviously has some kind of prior knowledge of what's going on, right? That's the only explanation for all of her actions and everything, I assume. Um, so assuming she has had some interactions with Madoka in the past, um, or I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be that. It could also be that she knows Madoka is to blame for something. And that something is, I assume, this ability to change fate, right? Avoiding that ending. But I guess now that I'm saying that, I don't really know if that makes sense, because that ending certainly did not seem to be working out well for Akemi. So I don't know. I don't know. It seems clear to me though that Akemi either blames Madoka for something already and has reason to not like her based off of that, or she knows Madoka more than it would make sense if this isn't like a time loop type scenario. And reason that is why she doesn't like her for some reasons that we haven't seen, experiences she has had with Madoka that Madoka hasn't had with her, basically. I know, wild analysis. I have no idea. And she says, which I think is a very important line, do you value your own life? Right? Which here, let's tie it in with the other one. Do you think dearly of your family and friends? Come on. If that's true, then you must never think about becoming someone else. Um, and yeah, I mean that fits in perfectly with everything else we've seen, right? Like, man, like is her you can obviously like the obvious thing is Madoka looking up to all of these people in her life that have traits that she aspires to be like, right? She aspires to be like them. Hitomi does, her mom does. Akemi is kind of as almost a perfect representation of that. She's like the perfect ideal almost, Um, you know, what do you call that? Thinking about becoming someone else? I think you could. That's certainly a way you can frame it, right? And in that sense, that's what I was saying earlier about how you can almost view it, this whole idea of living up to this ideal of femininity, basically in a way, because I mean, really, that is what it's all based around, almost, right? Um, I mean, not that it would only apply to women, and in terms of femininity, I suppose you could really apply it to anyone, but it is basically opposed to the idea of self-acceptance, right? If you're looking up to someone else and thinking, "Oh, I have to be more like them to be I'd be better if I was more like them," which I think is pretty much what Madoka is doing, right? She's um insecure about her how the way she dresses with the ribbons and everything. She says she doesn't have any admirers, stuff like that, right? Which is it's perfectly fine to want to have admirers and all of that, right? Um, but it is fair to say, I think, that it is opposed to the idea of self-acceptance, right? That she isn't accepting herself for who she is. Which it's just an interesting interplay because like changing yourself as a person isn't bad, obviously, right? And it's not like all change that people experience is opposed to the idea of self-acceptance, right? Um, you can love yourself and accept yourself and still want to change things about yourself. But I guess going so far that you want to become someone else, I would agree that that is going too far, right? And then that leads me to think this whole magical girl thing, right? Like becoming a magical girl, becoming like this. I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends how the magical girls work exactly, but it does kind of make you think of just it certainly plays into the whole idea of extreme femininity, stuff like that. That it seems like Madoka wants. You gain all these. You become super powerful, and all that stuff, right? Um, it all I can see how that relates to the idea of wanting to become someone else. Forming this contract with Kyubey to become a magical girl. Um, really does seem like wanting to become someone else. Because in a way, it's kind of like a shortcut. If you can just become a magical girl by forming this contract, you don't have to work on yourself to become more like the people you admire, which isn't a bad thing, and you don't have to work on self-acceptance for yourself, which is also not a bad thing, right? Because they're kind of opposing concepts, but not entirely, right? Hmm. Very interesting. I don't know. I don't know. If you do, you'll lose them all. Everyone she cares about. Which I don't know. I wonder if if we're viewing this again through the lens that Akemi has experienced this before, perhaps, right? That it's like a time loop type situation. Then I wonder if she is really talking specifically about her forming a contract with Cube, right? I don't know why, if that is what's going on, though, I don't know why she wouldn't warn her specifically about it. Yeah, you just need to remain Kanaman Madoka, as you always have been. Hmm. Yeah, it's just, it's impossible to not get the feeling that she knows Madoka much better than Madoka knows her, right? And yeah, she's the perfect. She does everything right. And it just makes me wonder as well if, the whole, and Cube is watching, which is, he's in shadow, he's in this dark, spiky plant. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan. I don't know. Anyway, I'm surprised that she told him about this. I don't know, I guess they're really good friends. Makes sense. And yeah, she says she met her in a dream, which her friends don't believe, which, yeah, makes sense, I guess. I wonder if they'll believe it. I wonder if, what's her name? I keep forgetting her name. Sayaka. I wonder if she'll remember it after, having experienced all this stuff at the end here. Or if she'll believe it, I mean. Hmm. And what does, Sayaka say here? Stop by the music store. Oh, come on. To get a CD for who? Kamijo? I wonder if that's, does she have I was just wondering if she also has a boyfriend. Is that Kamijo? I don't know. I don't know if that's a generally male or female name. I'm gonna actually look it up. Well, I don't want to be spoiled. I can't look it up. I guess I can't. I don't know. Someone tell me. Just if that is her like boyfriend's name, potentially, buying a CD for him, then that makes sense, right? That makes even more sense with Madoka, feeling like, everyone around her has a boyfriend, everyone has, yeah. You're in a music store, and this is when she starts hearing Kyubi's voice in her head. So Akemi is trying to kill Kyubey, which I maybe makes sense. I don't know. I mean, again, it's weird the framing here, right? Because we saw the dream at the beginning where Kyubey offered Madoka a way to change fate to reset this ending that she was seeing that seemed to be bad for Akemi. But then it's clear that Akemi and Kyubey are on opposite sides. She's trying to kill him. So I don't know. I really don't know. That's just weird. But yeah, she has this connection to Kyubey, which in my mind I was thinking that meant the contract already happened, that the contract in the dream had already happened. Um, but maybe not, because I guess he offers the contract again at the end. So I guess the contract hasn't happened yet. And all these chains and stuff falling, it we get some chains in this scene, we get chains later. It really just gives me the vibe that it's like we're unchaining something, that whatever Kyubey is, again, is I don't know, not good. Yeah, step away from that thing. like and like we don't, other than Kyubey being a cute little guy and Madoka wanting to protect him just because of that, we don't really have any reason to think Homura is like doing anything bad. We don't know anything about the situation, right? So other than just like, the fact that she's doing something that our protagonist doesn't want, we don't have any reason, to automatically assume she's in the wrong here. I wonder what would have happened, what she would have said or done if that hadn't happened. And then crazy, insane shit starts happening that I have no idea. Something about a witch, I guess. That's what the character at the end mentions. So I don't think we got her name. And yeah, I just crazy, insane shaft stuff happens that like it's like the crazy, nonsensical visuals in Bakemonogatari, except they're actually part of the universe here. Like I don't know, it's bizarre. I really have no idea. What are these even supposed to be? What are these even supposed to be? I mean, like cotton balls? I don't know. There's scissors, like Senjugahara. I don't know. Chains, unshackling. That's just really what it seems like to me. And then we get this new character that, again, like I'm suspicious of her, partially just because she's on the side of Cube, and just the chains everywhere, everything. She is framed in red in a way. Um, hmm. I don't know. I really don't know. Did she? Does she? Yeah, she doesn't introduce herself. She has before that. Yeah, and she has a bunch of shotguns. We see her first transformation. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of she kills all the cotton balls, I guess. Hmm. And yeah, and even this framing here that we get in this shot, for one, the witch. I don't know what that means. Because she wasn't after a witch, she was after Cube, wasn't she? And yeah, even this framing, um, like it really reinforces my idea that Akemi is not in the wrong here. Like the framing of this shot alone gives me the idea that Akemi is not exactly in the wrong, and that whatever is happening here, obviously we don't understand it. Like I don't have any reason other than that, but you know, she's up on the high ground, framed more in light. Whatever her name is down here, not framed in light, right? Um, so like, other than that, obviously we don't have any idea what's going on. Um, the details of the situation, but we see exit again, right? We saw that in the dream. I'm gonna go back to the dream actually and look at the visuals again. Because I know we saw that exit sign in the dream. Oh, also that sound effect, I remember it's from. It's when Shinobu was draining. Uh, Monogatari spoilers, I guess. It's when Shinobu's draining Hanakawa at the episode 15 of Bake, isn't it? Anyway, I want you two to make contracts and become magical girls. And again, I mean, I think I've said plenty about Kyubey, but I do want to see. We saw that exit sign. I think it was the exact same exit sign. We saw it in this. Yeah, we saw it in the dream. I don't know if that means anything. That's interesting. She has like a bunch of paths laid out to her. Hmm. I guess just two. The exit and then I don't know. I guess I don't really know if I should super hard try and analyze the visuals of the dream. It's kind of just like nonsensical in a way, isn't it? Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. I guess that's it. I think we're good. Yeah, I had a reaction to this shot just because like I don't even understand what I'm looking at. What is this? What is this thing? It looks like a bird. It's like wings and it like doesn't have a head. Am I like just seeing things? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know. Hmm. And Akemi is fighting something, but we don't even really see it. So yeah, I don't know. Unless she's fighting that weird thing in the sky, I guess. Hmm. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's it. It's a very good first episode. Um, yeah, I can see I can see why this is popular already because it was good. It was very good. Hmm. All right, well, I guess that's it. I guess that is it. So leave a comment, tell me what you guys think. Subscribe maybe if you liked it. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.